but we can get some MLB stuff now. And opening day was a couple days ago, and it seems like it's going to be an exciting year in the MLB.
So exciting.
A lot of storylines, and yeah, I mean, what are you guys' thoughts on the opening week of MLB?
For me, there are obviously it's been very exciting. There are four things that I'll run through quickly that stood out to me. One, obviously, I've watched the Mets pretty closely these first 4 games. They've looked pretty good. I know it's against the Nationals, but
they won the game. They won the series pretty convincingly.
Everything they wanted to fix in the offseason, they did. They signed guys who get on base, get hits, and play defense. You know, Mark Canha's batting .750 on the year so far. Marte, Escobar. They get on base. Robinson Cano's been pretty good. You guys that last year their 2-out hitting and their runners in scoring position average was horrendous. And I know it's a small sample size, but the first 4 games it's been a very, very drastic improvement. And the other 3 things I'll run through kind of quickly. One, I did not expect the Dodgers to lose their opening series to the Rockies, and maybe we were underrating the Rockies or overrating the Dodgers, but did not expect that. The Phillies are very scary to me. They are scary. I think they scare me. That's really all I can say. And then the Brewers pitching has been very disappointing, to say the least, to me. I did not expect the Cubs to win that series in the way they did. You know, just
the Brewers hitting also hasn't been that great.
I mean, that's been a concern for them kind of the entire year.
They had to
off season.
Their whole thing was relying on their top 3 guys to get them in position to win games. And the first 3 games,
very well.
Burns, Woodruff, and Peralta all did not do well. And yes, the Brewers won today, but it was really on the heels of their bullpen keeping them in the game.
Yeah, I think with
their bullpen's not even that crazy either.
No, it's not.
Yeah, I think with the Dodgers, you kind of just got to give them time. I think, you know, some new guys in there. I mean, more really just Freeman, but I think the Rockies are good. It was in an away ballpark. I think the Dodgers, you just kind of got to give them time.
Yeah, it's one series. We're not going to overreact to anything.
No. I just did not expect them to lose the series.
Yeah, I didn't either. And especially the way the Brewers went down, which all 3 of their starters not really doing well at all. And that's kind of a thing where you can't really, pitching is very, very important, but you cannot just rely on the good starting pitching. You need the offense. You need it. Because other than who would you say is like a real offensive threat on the Brewers? It's not Yelich anymore. They lost Escobar. They lost
Lorenzo Cain's not the same.
Yeah, Lorenzo Cain is washed. They lost Avisail Garcia. It honestly, their best hitter is probably Hunter Renfroe or Willie
Narvaez has had a terrible start.
Or maybe Willie Adames. The offense really concerns me.
Luis Urias will come back and he'll hit.
Yeah, he's an all right guy. He gets on base a little bit, but they don't have if Yelich doesn't return to form again, which we can't. It's too early.
Seems like we've said that for a little while.
But if he doesn't return to form again, then there's no offense outside of that. It's very, very concerning. But let me talk about the Mets real quick. Mainly Siler McGill.
Oh my gosh!
What a masterclass!
Too.
And Chris Bassett, but I really want to talk about Tyler McGill, just because on opening day starter pitched a gem in 5 innings, and I think that I know it's 1 game against the Nationals, but I think that there are better things to come for Tyler McGill, because not only did he pitch well, but he's throwing harder. His average fastball has jumped by almost a full mile per hour. His spin rates on every pitch are up by like 100 to 200 like spins per second or whatever the measure is. But his stuff has gotten better. He's throwing harder. I think I think Tyler McGill is going to have a great year, big step forward for them. And I love that. At first I didn't like Robinson Cano in the starting lineup, but hey, maybe he's proving me wrong now.
I'd still,
It's early.
I'm still
but,
iffy on
but
it.
He looked pretty good, especially in opening day when he went 2 for 3. Yeah, and left GM Chris Bassett also pitched a gem. I know they lost today, but it really wasn't. It was they won the series already.
You can't win them all.
Exactly.
Yeah, you can't win them all. And I mean, I have some thoughts on the Yankees, but that's the next topic we'll get into with Aaron Judge not signing an extension before opening day. And I think he still wants to be a Yankee, but he's betting on himself. And he turned down a 7-year, $230 million deal. $30 million a year, and he turned it down. I think that
he could get
contract and a half.
It's a lot of money, but I think that he can get more than that. I think he's worth more.
I don't know
he's
though.
getting up there in age a little bit.
He's almost 30.
He's almost 30.
He's almost 30.
So I think even the 7-year deal is like a little generous. I mean, I think you can pay him a little more I think like if I think a 5-year, maybe $40 million a year, $35 million a year deal would make a little more sense for the Yankees. But I don't know. Aaron Judge betting on himself.
I think it is a very concerning, considering that not only like he didn't sign an extension, he turned it down, but also like it kind of just seems like he's airing out the drama to the public.
I think he is, but he wants to be a Yankee. I mean, he loves playing for the Yankees, and the Yankees fans love him. I think Brian Cashman he'll do what he has to do to get Aaron Judge
there's
back.
literally the judge's chamber.
Yeah.
I mean, if he doesn't re-sign, this will be more of a shock than like Freddie Freeman not re-signing with the Braves. But I don't know. I think that Aaron Judge could be worth more. Like, look, he went healthy, and he was healthy last year. He is easily a top 10 player in the league, and he's great with the bat, obviously, but he's also a really good defender as well.
Yeah, he is.
He walks a lot, even though it's corner outfielder, still very, very good defender. And so I think, and like, because it's a corner outfield position, it doesn't require an insane amount of like athleticism or like physical labor. I think that Judge should be worth more. Honestly, maybe around the contracts that Bryce Harper got. Maybe not 13 years, but
I think no.
But I think around like
he's worth
8 or 9 years.
He's worth the money. He's not worth the years.
I'm just a little skeptical on the whole.
30.
I've been a pretty big skeptic of the whole bet on yourself thing, and obviously it's worked in the past with a lot of players, but it's also blown up in a lot of players' faces. And I know it's not the same player, but Michael Conforto is a prime example of that, where bet on himself, had a great. I'm not comparing the players in any means. He bet on himself, had one of his worst years of his career, and now he's unsigned past opening day. And I don't think that's going to happen with Aaron Judge. I don't. But I mean, with not signing a contract, you risk injury, you risk any like slip up in your year that's gonna hurt your value, rather than you might not sign for the money you think you're worth. But in my opinion, I think unless you have the best, like, what are the odds that he has a year so much drastically better than the years past that it's going to significantly up the value of the contract he was offered? Like, I don't think that's. I
don't think that's ridiculous.
I think he was offered 30 a year. I mean, I personally would have taken that, because you risk injury, contract like that out the window, bad 1 month stretch, contract out the window. You need to play perfect baseball, significantly better than how he's played the past, which has already been like a top 15 player in the league. So I really think that, like, if this doesn't get resolved, there's a real chance of him leaving.
I think so. I think so too. It's really not looking good because I think it's different from like the DeGrom situation where like he's got the extension right now. He's opting out, but they're right now they are
Well, there's no way that they let him go. There's
exactly
absolutely no way.
No.
no way.
Especially
knock
with an
on
owner
wood.
that rich. You pay him an empty check with that, whatever he
Yeah,
wants.
it's really different with DeGrom and Judge. And I also with Judge, like at least with the Mets, Steve Cohen and them, they are making like active efforts to make the team better, to make it significantly better. And the Yankees, they've kept relatively the same team the past 3 years now, and they don't have really anything to show for it.
Like,
So yeah.
yeah, I just think like how much better is he gonna perform in years past that's significantly gonna raise the value of the contract he was offered? Like
I think
he's-
if he plays like a season similar,
I mean, if he
maybe
has, like, an
slightly
MVP
worse
type year.
slightly worse than his rookie year, then I think that ups his value definitely.
but the thing is it worth the risk for me? I don't know if it's worth risking.
That's
It's I don't know if it's worth the risk of getting
That-
injured or having a bad one bad stretch of baseball that significantly plummets your value. Like I feel like the
the
risk
risk of just getting like 3 million more a year might not be worth
like
it.
is
Like,
that not it's for me obviously is a good chance he gets it because he's an amazing player, but I personally don't know if the risk of him taking an entire prove it year is going to change the value of the contract that much to where he's like, yes, this is definitely what I want.
Yeah.
I honestly think he will though, just because it's Aaron Judge. Like he is one of
Oh, no,
the
It
faces
is,
of
it
baseball.
is.
I'm
It
I'm
is.
not debating that he's a great player. I've personally always been a very conservative thinker in that aspect where players who bet on themselves, usually it doesn't work out. Obviously there are circumstances where it does, but and who knows, maybe he has the best year of his career, is an MVP
Yeah.
top 3.
I mean, the end of
gets a
last year,
contract.
like this, even like the second half of last year, he was on a tear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, obviously there's a chance. I just think it's very risky.
Here,
for
let
any
me
player.
ask you this. Like, okay, let's say he has. I think last year he's finished with like a 145 WRC plus, something like that. If he has another year like last year, would you say his value, the contract value, gets upped by?
I'd say the money value
insignificant
goes up, but
amount?
not the year.
If he has the same exact year as last year, why would Cashman up the offer?
Because it just proves that yes, he can be really healthy. Because that's been the main issue with Judge. He couldn't stay healthy. But last year he was healthy. If he has another year where he plays 140 games, and with the same production, I think that ups the value. Because then that proves, yup, he's good. It was just a few freak injuries. And then his production and his sustainability is there to stay. So I think, yeah. I think that it was a good move by him. I would have done the same thing. And if he does something like last year, he's gonna get a huge raise from 270 mil, which is already a lot of money. So
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, we'll
I
see.
don't know. I think, yeah, we'll see how it turns out. But either way, great player. He's probably gonna have another good year this year. And hopefully he earns a contract. But we'll see how he does.